APIs are services you develop that allow other applications to access parts of your data or code, enabling them to build add-on, complementary applications and integrations with your data, usually via JSON or XML. When you publish an API, you're responsible for maintaining, versioning, and monitoring your API through all of its various life cycles. Amazon noted that API management was a pain point for its customers. So a few years ago, they launched API Gateway. Amazon API Gateway is a fully managed and scalable service that makes it easy for AWS customers to create, publish, maintain, monitor, and secure APIs. API Gateway sits between the requester or requesting application and the backend or the repository where the data resides. API Gateway lets you create and configure APIs, host APIs, cache and throttle API requests, and API Gateway also handles authentication and authorization of APIs. API Gateway works with Lambda by sitting in between the user's API request and the Lambda running compute functions on the back end. AWS DynamoDB is a proprietary serverless NoSQL database, and it makes up a key component of the AWS serverless offering, as it fits into their practice of designing cloud-native serverless architecture, and it is tightly integrated with the rest of their serverless offering. It is fast, high-performing, and scales elastically with auto-scaling in provision capacity mode. Now briefly, a NoSQL database differs from a SQL or relational database in that it doesn't store data in a structured or relational format that we may be used to with SQL language-based databases. DynamoDB is good for applications where all of the data you need can be stored in one table because there's no relational aspect of a SQL database that allows you to join data from various tables to build out functionality. For example, if you're building a bucket list application where users name the places that they would like to visit, all of the destination objects have to be contained in the individual user's table, and not as destination objects in other tables that's referenced by the user tables. DynamoDB uses a key value format to store JSON objects in tables. And based on the object data, tables are assigned a primary key that can be used to reference items in the table. DynamoDB data is hosted on a series of distributed managed servers, which not only increases database availability and performance, it also facilitates automatic scaling. However, because the database is widely distributed over many servers, there's no way to query an actual database because it doesn't exist in one place on one server. In order to run a query on DynamoDB tables, you need to use the DynamoDB API. You can use it directly via the AWS CLI or the AWS SDK. DynamoDB is tightly integrated with the AWS serverless ecosystem. Lambda functions can be triggered by an update to a DynamoDB table via DynamoDB streams, which are activity logs from the DynamoDB tables. And S3 can make a backup of new database records via Lambda function as well. Again, because DynamoDB is serverless, AWS manages the underlying compute infrastructure and the actual DynamoDB software, while providing their customers with the access and views they need. DynamoDB has a few drawbacks. It's a proprietary element of the AWS platform, so if you'd like to migrate out of AWS, it might become a project, and because of how it's priced, it's not ideal for high traffic of large objects. AWS DynamoDB is fast, requires no server management, and is distributed and scalable, making it ideal for applications that exclusively use self-contained data objects.